Hello everyone. On this video we will be going over the mean value theorem, or we'll just say MVT for short. Okay, so let's assume that f of x is continuous on some closed interval from a to b and differentiable on some open interval from a to b. Okay, so then we know there exists a number that we will call c. Okay, so there exists a number c in that open interval from a to b such that f prime of c is equal to f of b minus f of a all over b minus a. Alright, so to kind of explain that graphically, let's say we draw our xy axis. Oh, bring that up. X and y. My y-axis is a little crooked. Let me kind of straighten it out just a smidgen. And that's good enough. Okay, so let's say if we have a particular portion of a graph. Okay, so let's say this is our value a, and let's say this is our value x equals b. Okay, so we see here that it's continuous from a to b even at the ends, and it's differentiable from a to b. Okay, so we know that this point here is point B, and when you plug it in, it would be your f of b. This point here, I'll move that over a little bit, that's point A and f of a. Okay, so if you remember, your slope of the secant line is f of b minus f of a all over b minus a. So you would have a slope that you could calculate between those 2 points. Okay, so what the mean value theorem is saying, that somewhere between that a and b there exists a point that has that very same slope. And that would be your f prime of c. So that some value c would have that very same slope of your f of a to f of b slope of a secant. Okay, now it doesn't have to be directly in the middle of a and b, but at some point between there, that c would have that very same slope. So that's why I would use the very same formula for that slope. Alright, so if you are still writing, feel free to press pause, but we're going to go ahead and move on to our example. Alright, so let's say we wanted to find the value of c in the interval from x equals 7 to x equals 9, guaranteed by the mean value theorem for f of x equals -7 times x minus 9 squared. Okay, so first we have to make sure all of the stipulations are met. Okay, so we know that f of x equals -7 times x minus 9 squared is continuous between 7 and 9, because if you plug in any number between 7 and 9, you don't come up with some sort of undefined value. Okay, so we know it's continuous and we know it's differentiable. It is continuous from 7 to 9 and differentiable from 7 to 9. Okay, so we can use the mean value theorem. All right. Okay, so our goal here is to find f prime of c and f of 9 minus f of 7 all over 9 minus 7. Because remember, your mean value theorem is f of b minus f of a all over b minus a. So we know that your 7 is your a, your 9 is your b. Okay, so we find those two and we make sure they are equal to solve for c. Okay, so to find our f prime of c, first we have our f of c, just replacing x with c. So we have -7 times c minus 9 squared. So that means your f prime of c is going to be -7. Derivative of this portion, bring down the 2. So that's times 2 times c minus 9, subtract 1, so that leaves that. So the derivative of the inside is just 1, so we can leave that as it is. So f prime of c is equal to -14. Clean that up a little. -14 times c minus 9. Okay, so we found our f prime of c. So now we have to find our slope of the secant line, which is f of 9 minus f of 7 all over 9 minus 7. All right, so just put those on the side. So we know that f of 9 is equal to -7 times 9 minus 9 squared, which is 0. And f of 7 is equal to -7 times 7 minus 9 squared, which is -28. Okay, so if we go ahead and plug those in, it's going to equal 0 minus -28 over 9 minus 7, which is 2. So that is going to equal 14. Okay, so your slope of the secant line equals 14. All right, so in order to find where our f prime of c is equal to our slope, so f prime of c is equal to our slope of the secant line, that means we have to find where -14 times c minus 9 is equal to 14. Okay, so if we divide both sides by -14, we end up with c minus 9 equals -1. Add 9 to both sides. We have c equals 8. Okay, so this value where c is equal to 8 is where you would have the same slope for the endpoints for your mean value theorem. So for your endpoint between A and B, the slope you have for that will be the very same slope at c equals 8. Alright, so hopefully this made sense, and I will see you on the next video.